Welcome to Fort Irwin. I'm representing the G3 Integrated Training Area Management, or ITAM program. ITAM works closely with range control to support training and take care of the training lands so that soldiers can continue to train at the National Training Center for a long time to come. I'm going to talk with you about maps for the training area, some important restrictions to training, and a few desert safety tips. Everyone going downrange must have a standard installation map that shows grids, terrain features, training facilities, and restricted areas. If you're going downrange, make sure you have one of these maps in your vehicle. If not, please stop by the ITAM office to pick up a copy. In addition to the standard NTC maps, ITAM produces special maps to meet specific unit training needs, so let us help you out. The National Training Center encompasses about 1,200 square miles. Most of that land is available for training and maneuvering, but there are some areas where training activities are restricted due to legal requirements or safety hazards, and you must be aware of these. Leech Lake Impact Area is a large area in the northern part of Post that is off limits to all ground-based activities. The Goldstone Complex in the western part of Post is an area that the Army leases to NASA for their Deep Space Communications program. There is a paved road and a tank trail through Goldstone. However, this area is off limits to training. In addition to these large areas, there are a number of smaller sites that have various restrictions. Some of these are fenced, and all are marked on the standard NTC map products. There are about a dozen springs on Fort Irwin, and all of these are completely off limits to training activity. These springs are not suitable for drinking water, but the springs and surrounding vegetation are extremely important to wildlife, so please leave them alone. The dry lake beds, or playas, in the bottom of every valley are off limits to vehicle traffic due to air quality issues. There are also many sensitive and expensive infrastructure sites downrange, including cell towers, weather stations, and air quality monitoring stations. Please avoid these sites as well. If you plan to dig downrange, you must complete a dig permit and coordinate in advance with range control. And lastly, Fort Irwin has a wealth of cultural resources, both historic, from the mining era, and prehistoric, like arrowheads and rock art. Some cultural sites have been identified and set off limits for protection. It is illegal to disturb or remove any cultural artifacts. And if you find an artifact or something that you think is greater than 50 years old, it's very important that you leave it where you find it, get a grid on it, and report it to range control. Please help us by reporting to range control or ITAM any damage to off-limits fencing, as well as any hazardous trail conditions so that we can make the necessary repairs. I encourage you to explore the Mojave Desert while you're stationed at Fort Irwin. However, there are some things that you need to think about in order to enjoy the desert safely. Whether you're on a training mission downrange or going out in the desert off post, make sure you tell someone where you're going and when you expect to return. Remember, the desert's a huge place, and if you don't get back when expected, at least someone will know where to start looking for you. Even if you think you're only going to go out for a little while, take plenty of extra food, water, and other essentials. In fact, I'd suggest carrying 5 gallons of water in your vehicle at all times. We often get high winds, mostly in the spring, and these can sometimes cause dust storms and brownouts. When driving in these conditions, slow down and increase your following distance so that you have plenty of time to react. During August and September, we sometimes experience summer thunderstorms that can cause flash flooding. Stay out of low-lying areas and be especially careful when crossing any flowing water. Where flowing water crosses downrange trails, there is often a washout on the downslope side of the trail. Again, welcome to Fort Irwin. Enjoy the desert, be safe, and help us take care of your training lands. Thanks.